Oh yeah, okay. Now as you may have noticed in my previous videos, I do have a decent amount of tattoos, and I thought it might be interesting to go into why I have them and the reasons for certain pieces and such. Now, I've always been attracted to certain art and certain styles. I'm very much into cartoons and comics and sort of lowbrow art and drawings, and this reflects in the tattoos that I like and I can appreciate. Now, I've always wanted tattoos from an early age. The colours, the art and pictures that can be put into the skin and kept forever still amazes me. The craftsmanship that goes into tattooing is still as amazing and continues to get bigger, better, grander and such. I'm personally quite a fan of and collects sort of new school type pieces, big, bold, cartoony types. And that is now also used as the same kind of style that's also used to recreate classic old school flash from originators like Sailor Jerry and such. I do like and I can appreciate other styles, but these are mainly the things that I like and I appreciate more. Now, I've briefly touched on this subject before, but I thought I'd go into a little bit more detail. Now, I first started taking note of tattoos and such when I first got into rock and metal. Bands like Sepultura and Machine Head, Kerry King of Slayer at that time was the only one who was tattooed, and members of NoFX and such all had quite sort of large-scale visible tattoos. Now, I don't think it was so much the designs themselves, but I wanted to have something of the like. I literally just lusted after them, like when I first sort of saw piercings and started getting piercings. Can't really remember the plans or the amount of plans that I have made, what I wanted to get and such, but I just know that it was a lot, and I'm just glad I waited until I did. It was just before, about a month before I was 21, because I would have got some utterly awful tattoos and would have ended up spending so much more money than I already have, which, thanks to friends and of the like, it's nowhere near as much as I should have. Now, a friend called Charlie had just started an apprenticeship with Dan Gold in King's Cross, and a mutual friend of ours was going to get tattooed one day. He said I should come with, but I should get tattooed as well, because he was always the one being watched by people, and he'd never seen anyone else, or at least one of our sort of close friends, get tattooed. Now, I was a bit wary, but I thought, okay, well, let's see how it goes. Didn't mention it to Charlie at all. And after turning up and doing all the hellos and such, Charlie just turned around to me and literally said, "Oh, so I hear you're getting tattooed today. What do you want?" I had no idea what to get or what to do or anything, but I decided, we kind of just talked about it a bit and thought of a simplish design, so just went with a nautical star, which is the one that I have on the inside of my left leg. And yep, so just went from there. It took quite a while for us to do, because we were all pissing about, getting distracted, having a laugh, but eventually it was finished and that was my first tattoo done. I went back again less than a month later and got the other star on the inside of my right leg done. And then went from there. The next piece after that was the Transformers piece I've got on my left leg. A month or so after getting the second star, I was sitting in a shop I used to work in Camden and visiting some friends, and a guy who I knew walked in with another person that I'd met a few years before, a guy called John H, who I'd met through another friend at a gig, and he was just showing John about to say new artists in town, come say hello, and if you wanted anything where he'd be working and such. So went from there, and I was reading a Transformers comic at the time, and just off the cuff I just said, oh, could you do something like this, like Transformers in a war scene? And he was like, oh yeah, that'd be really easy, we can do that, come see me. So I did eventually go and see him, and after a few consultations we decided that a war scene was going to be too big and the details wouldn't work, like we wouldn't be able to get enough detail in it, so we decided on just the Decepticons, which was pretty cool, and so that's what I've got on the inside of my leg, sorry, on my calf. And it took about between sort of 18 and 24 hours to complete. I can't really remember now. Anything between sort of 4 to 7 sessions, roughly around 4 hours each. And it took over a year, or anything up to about 2 years to finish, because unfortunately he went back to America for a while as well. It also got written off as promotion, so I didn't have to pay anywhere near as much as what I should have paid, thanks to John. Now I could go through what I've got where and why, if there was any why, because not a lot of the time there is a reason why. It was just because I wanted something like that, or I just wanted the design. But it would take forever and a day, and I'm going to put a montage of, or it should be earlier in this video, of what I've got. It won't be everything, it'll be some photos are quite bad, some are okay, some are good, but whatever. You can talk to me about it, leave comments about it, whatever you like. If you want a breakdown of if I've got a reason for any designs, then do just comment away. Right, I do have some reasons for getting tattooed, apart from the obviously just wanting to have them. Suffering from depression, a lot of people will be able to understand the want to sort of disappear, not be seen, or at least you're not being seen to make it clear to someone that you don't necessarily want to be approached or talked to. And to some extent, sometimes I have got the amount of tattoos I have and want more to sort of warn off people, maybe to an extent. There's nothing worse than when you're suffering from depression, anxiety, or social anxiety, and you're having a bad day, and you've managed to push yourself to get outside of the house, and then have to deal with the general public, and then getting pushed to be approached and have to talk to people when you really don't want to. And sometimes that's a reason why I would say use them. But also on the flip side to that, when I am in a good place, I am able to, and I don't mind talking to practically anyone who wants to talk to me, as long as they're nice about it. And if they wanted to ask any questions as to why, then I'll be more than happy to talk to them about it. As much as getting tattooed hurts, which it does, no matter what anyone says, it can be really cathartic and a real release of tension and anxiety. I really do never feel better than on the day of getting a completed tattoo, and for a few days afterwards. And being that I don't drink, smoke, or sort of take any drugs outside of medication, it's the only real release that I can get. I used to get a lot of anger and energy and frustration out when I used to go to gigs and clubs and parties, but as I don't do a lot of that anymore, getting tattooed is sometimes the only way of releasing that energy, stress and anxiety. It's probably why my problems have got worse as I've got older, but I can't rely on just getting tattooed. as much as I would love to get more work, it's not something I can or should rely on. Now, I would also say that I wouldn't have so many if it were not for the majority of friends who have done them and helped me out by doing them either mega cheap or for free. Well, anyways, I'm probably going to leave it there for now. Hope you've enjoyed this one. There probably will be another episode or another video pretty soon, as I have got a few ideas on what I want to do next. Thanks again for watching. Please like if you've enjoyed the video in any way. Subscribe if you want, and please forward on to anyone that you think might enjoy this or might find it of any help. Thanks very much. Bye.